Hello everyone, my name is Matt Scorpion, and welcome back to the TWAB. So, big importance, well, I'm not going to say big importance, but there's a few big important details here regarding the raid race, some up-and-coming rewards, and that sort of thing. So let's get into the main bit. So, of course, I talk about last week, which was the Season 20 trailer, the Lightfall Dev Insights music, new fragments being unlocked for Strand, Root of Nightmares was introduced, Among Us and Destiny, there we go, celebrating Women's History Month and sharing love from friends at PlayStation. This week will be the world's first race raid details and some rewards stuff. A new quest and rewards coming in Season of the Deep, Iron Banner and Trials update, Prime Gaming, new player's guide, known issues, and as well as art and movie of the week. Which I don't know why they need to say what's in this week, because that's always every week. So, of course, if you didn't see it, they also link the world's first raid race trailer, which doesn't show more than the intro sequence, in case anyone's wondering, and some highlights from Vow Disciple in the raid race that year. Now, as well, if you wanted to actually get some free stuff, Twitch drops will be enabled during the stream, granting viewers an exclusive emblems if they watch the Twitch rival stream specifically, or a participating partner or affiliate for at least 2 hours between 8:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. So, a bit of a window there. There's a full list of streamers here with a link in case you needed it. There is the first one, and there will be a second Twitch drop for anyone watching Destiny 2 for 2 hours during the first 48, exclusively. Check the Twitch drops guide for full instructions, and make sure the account is linked up, and you'll get the particle acceleration emblem. Now, rules! So, in case you're actually wanting to go and get contest mode and try for world's first. The rules being, the raid will launch with contest mode enabled for the first 48 hours, starting at 9 a.m. Pacific, basically reset, on March 10th, and ending at 10 a.m. Pacific on March 12th. You will need to be at 1780 power to be at cap for all of the encounters. Contest mode will cap all players at 20 below each encounter of the raid for the first 48 hours. Artifact power is enabled, but only provides a benefit of players up to the cap of 1780. Read the player support report for the list of items that will be disabled in the raid during contest mode, so you don't anticipate speccing out for something to not ever use it. The first fire team to complete the raid, loot the final chest, and return to orbit will be crowned the winner of the world's first race once the team reviews their clear. Reminder, validating the winners will take some time. We'll send out confirmation on Twitter at Destiny the Game as soon as we know. To celebrate, all the 6 winning fire team members will get the world's first belts. To give the server some space to breathe, there will be no bounty or weapon crafting progress for combatants killed below boss tier within the raid when contest mode is enabled. So, there you go. Now, of course, if you want to read the official rules, there is another article for it. And in case you want to see the belt, that is the belt for this raid, which I gotta admit, I really do like. I mean, I get that they don't really evolve much, but I like this one. Then, as well, players who complete the raid before March 21st will have access to the exclusive raid jacket from Root of Nightmares from the store. The corresponding raid pin and Dream Warrior title pin will be available throughout the season, as well with all of our previous raid-related bundle rewards. This year's jacket represents a long-standing tradition allowing players to celebrate their incredible in-game accomplishments outside of the game. Which, I'm not gonna lie, it looks like it might just be a offshoot of the Vow jacket, but I might be happy with that because I like the color scheme for this one. The interior looks awesome, and I gotta admit, the Vow jacket is probably one of my favorite jackets that's ever come out from Bungie, just, you know, in terms of functionality. And as mentioned in the last week's TOB, a new storytelling kind of came out. Now well, hang on, let's see. We are just about a week into Season Defiance, and let's see. It feels important to give everyone particular quests we're bringing to Neo Muna in Season of the Deep, as well as rewards with that. Throughout the quest, players will explore the city and learn about the nature of the Veil through Osiris' research and newly uncovered Ishtar collected data. The brief pursuit will be available to all Lightfall owners and will take place separately from the events of Season of the Deep. As a reward for completing the final step, players will gain access to 3 new Strand access, once per class, to add even more depth to Strand. And we get names. For Titans, we get the Flechette Storm. Hunter, we get Threaded Scepter. And Warlock, we get the Wanderer. So, basically, there is that. And as well, as an addition, Lightfall owners will also get their hands on a new legendary weapon upon completing the quest. Here is a close-up, which, if I recall, this is the weapon that's in... Well, here, hang on. Let's see if I can do this right. If I recall, that's the hand cannon shown right there. Which is weird that this is on the cover art for Lightfall, but it's a next season reward? And it didn't launch with Lightfall? Curious. But, I mean, you know, there's that. And then Iron Banner. The date is changing, allegedly. Good news for Trials fans. Trials will be up next weekend instead, since the let's see. You know that annoying bug we've had since the launch of Lightfall? We're playing enough Crucible or anything and all with accommodation screen. Sometimes you can disappear. And let's see. Let's see. Well, the fix is scheduled to go live on March 16th, 2 days after the start of Iron Banner, and we don't want to have our premiere Iron Banner start off with 2 days of Visible Guardians or everyone playing Iron Banner restarting Destiny 2 every hour. So we're making the tough decision to delay Iron Banner week. This means a couple things. Good news for Trials fans. We'll be moving Trials of Osiris up to next weekend instead, since the issue should be fixed before Friday. And then there will be a 1-week break between the first Iron Banner and the second Iron Banner. So there's that. So to recap, Trials will now start on the 17th, and Iron Banner will start on the 21st of March, which would have previously been the 24th and the 14th on each. Now, Prime Gaming rewards. So there is some of the rewards for Prime Gaming, which, what is... Wait, hang on. Defiant, Falling Stars, Andromeda Gleaming. That may be backwards. I think that shit may be backwards. But, I mean, either way, there's that. And as well, if you wanted, there is the new player guide around here in case there's any sort of questions you had about Destiny that is just starting out and maybe not everyone has an answer for on YouTube. Now, specifically, this was mentioned before, some stuff will be disabled during the raid race to prevent basically somebody abusing something that's overperforming and Bungie can't stop it. So, Grand Overture, Fighting Lion, Winterbite, Jotun, and Hierarchy of Needs. All those exotics will be disabled during the raid race. If you're planning on abusing them or using them in any form or fashion, plan accordingly, because you can't. And as well, in terms of armor and mods, Titan's Ramparts are disabled. The Threat of Ascent Strand Fragment will be disabled across the entire game, because I guess that one went a little bit too hot. And the Empowered Finisher armor mod is disabled during raid race. So, that is important for anyone that is trying to use a specific kind of build. Now, they also wanted to clarify on character boost versus campaign boost. Player will see 2 types of boosts on their character screen depending on their progress. The Lightfall character boost will appear when you hit soft cap. With one character but not having completed Lightfall, this provides a selected character with a set of high power level gear. The boost does not skip the campaign. But the campaign skip appears when you complete Lightfall, skips the Lightfall campaign for your selected character, and unlocks Strand. This only includes a set of high power level gear if your main character has hit said soft cap. So there is that. Now, Ritual Reset in Daylight Savings Time. Now, beginning on March 8th in the United States, Destiny 2 daily and weekly reset time will update to 10 a.m. Pacific. For more information on Ritual Resets, please see on this. Basically, reset is usually at 1 or at noon. Once Daylight Savings Time hits, it will be at 1 instead. Now, the known issues guide. Now, these are some of the top known issues. They are continuing to investigate, but here's a list of them to help in the help forum. Basically, as follows. Take a deep breath here. The Radiant status effect does not buff strand weapons. Volatile rounds from Gerfalcon's Halberd do not give anti-barrier to void weapons. Mind-spun invocations suspend bursts do not stun unstoppable champions. Veteran players do not receive the correct amount of lore books when they rank up for the first time. Countdown and its variants are not added to the weekly Crucible challenge. Reservoir burst explosions with subsistence can sometimes fail to activate on kill. Adept Trials hand cannon is getting 1 round less in the magazine than the non-adept. The grav lift on Neomuna is tied to frame rate, causing players with higher frame rates to die upon landing. The Mark All as Seen button in the collections is no longer functioning. The dimensional hypotrochoid that grenade launcher can have a range master work. Non-Lightfall quests are showing up under the Lightfall quest category. Hunters that die and have Strand reapplied will lose their first Strand expect. Hunter Gauntlet's Thunderhead Grips is missing an ornament for armor synthesis. Certain heavy weapon archetypes are not benefiting from a 3rd reserve mod, and I think this is supposed to be something else, but players are no longer able to equip the Unbroken title. Restoration reverts to a lower timer when reapplying the original source of a buff. The UI behavior at the commendation screen is causing players to unintentionally skip to the end of the season's first mission cinematic. Yes, I had that problem. Weapons can mark targets through Titan barricades. Grand Overture Catalyst grants disorienting effects to the timed /explosive payload. I guess that's why it's disabled. Threat of Generation stops functioning on hunters for grenades that aren't grapple after using their super. Unpowered melees can produce fast melee combos in quick succession. Players experience a black screen when previewing armor bundles on PS5. Equipping a large amount of decaying armor charge mods started to deactivate tier 4 and tier 5 artifact mods for the player. Some players on Steam are unable to progress past the class icon locating the spinner on launch. Please send us to our DX diagnostics for on help forums. And commendations are grayed out as it already is given in some activities. And per the usual, for full list of emergent issues, players can review the known issues article. Players who observe other issues report them at the help forum. And I want to specify, these are the top known issues. If there is another known issue that you submitted and was resolved but wasn't on here, that might just be because that issue isn't big enough to really warrant much worry. It will be fixed, but not first. Then at that, we have the rest of the Art of the Week, which means end of the TWAB. So on that note, I am also going to jump into the patch notes that launched today, because there is some details that need to be addressed there. So, in terms of gameplay and advancement, fixed an issue where Silk Strike Super's light attack was doing hidden double damage. Remove the critical strike at the tip of the dart and instead granted the critical strike behavior for the full length of the dart. This damage has been tuned to compensate. So, functionally, Silk Strike used to make it so that if you used a light attack and flung the dart, if it was right at the edge, instead of being a blunt flat edge, it would actually stab them, granting double damage or something like that. Since that doesn't work so well, then they just adjusted it so it's doing decent damage permanently as opposed to crits at the end and permanent double damage or something like that. Fixed an issue where Arc Strider's disorienting blow melee was not costing energy on hit. Fixed an issue where the Lightflow quest previously only tracked campaign version through the Hypernet Current Strike and will now track progress for any version of the strike. The UI fixed an issue that caused commendation screen to crash. For weapons, fixed an issue where the Manticore Seasoned Seraph or the Manticore SMG was missing from collections. And for armor, fixed an issue where the elemental-focused armor mods would deactivate when spawning in an activity or respawning after death. Fixed an issue where the seasonal artifact could cost Glimmer to reset. Fixed an issue where scavenger mods were incorrectly activating crucible game modes. And fixed an issue where players were able to duplicate ammo drops. So there you go. That is the TWAB and the patch notes before Raid Race. So, like I said, they are disabling some stuff for the raid itself in case you actually wanted to use anything there that was on that list. Get over it. You gotta use something else. With that, my name is Matt Scorpion. I will see you in the next video.